Hello everyone. If you're watching this, that means the plan is in place here in the fall of 2025 and is still moving forward. I don't know when this video will come out, and I apologize that I've been keeping you in the dark for so long, but I will explain why. I've watched these cheap bike challenges on YouTube and decided to give it a go myself. Once I decided that this would be a thing, I ran it past my wife. And with the enthusiasm of a motor vehicle employee, she said, "Another bike? Whatever."
Whatever.
But now that I had her full support behind me, it was basically the green light I needed to continue. I decided it might be a good idea to ask someone else who has knowledge of older bikes and knows the issues that they can have. I work with Derek, who has an old Ironhead Sportster, so he knows the challenges of keeping an old bike running. So I decided to run it by him and see what he thought, if this was a stupid idea or if it was okay. If you watch my W1 video, my bike builds, he was the one in the video that welded the tank stud onto the frame. And even though he can be a dick at times, on purpose of course, I do value his feedback. I started explaining the plan, and pretty much before I could finish, he said, "I'm in, I'm down," or whatever the younger generation says. So now we have two idiots doing this challenge. So meet Derek, welcome to the channel. And what made you decide you wanted to be part of this?
First of all, did you call me a dick?
They got my dick message!
Oh, I guess it's facts. I don't know. I've never really done a long ride like this before. I thought it might be a good chance to explore and see different things that I've never seen before. And I mean, can't go wrong with having another motorcycle, right? I mean, you should know better than anybody.
That's right.
So I'm totally interested in mechanically fixing up a bike and seeing if we can make it to our destination and back.
That's right. So the reason I've kept everything secret and haven't posted any videos is because we're not going to disclose to each other what bikes we got until we have them ready and have them ready to reveal sometime in the spring or whenever you guys are watching this. So we have the plan pretty much finalized, I think. And let's start with the budget. $1,000.
$1,000 budget.
All in.
All in.
Bike and parts.
Bike and parts.
That's not a lot of money.
It's not, no.
Things that aren't really included in that budget. I mean, if you need some brake fluid, you have brake fluid at home. You need a hose clamp, you have a hose clamp at home. That's fine. If you need a special gasket, seal, or something like that, yes, you have to go out and purchase it, of course. Things that aren't included as well would be cameras, GPSs, phone mounts, any tools we bring, jump starters, fire extinguishers, duct tape, zip ties, anything to keep the bikes moving.
Right.
Wouldn't be included. So with that, let's talk about the bikes. Bikes have to be purchased off Facebook, eBay, OfferUp, Craigslist, something like that. No bro deals from your best friend saying, "Oh yeah, you can have my bike for a few $100s and sell it back to me when you come back."
Fair enough.
Also, we have to install USBs as part of the deal. USB outlets, because we're going to need power for phones, GPS, and especially the cameras. If the bikes break down, that's one thing. If the cameras stop, that's unacceptable.
Okay.
Gotta get it on video. The bikes must be able to sustain highway speeds, like 70 miles an hour for sustained times. No scooters, Derek. I know you like small things.
I do.
So that's pretty much wraps up the bike. I mean, I don't think we're going to get any new bikes for that price. So they're definitely going to have to be older bikes to fit into a $1,000 budget. Which, I mean, great for you if you can come up with a new bike for $1,000, but I don't think it's going to happen. The trip.
The trip.
how far is too far, how far is not far enough. So we decided is this trip will be about 600 miles round trip. That's a good distance for two bikes that are questionable. And we're going to go to one of the deadliest mountains in the world, Mount Washington. Mount Washington has famously bad weather and holds the record for the highest wind speed ever recorded by surface weather station at 231 miles an hour or 372 kilometers an hour. But hopefully it'll be a nice day.
Let's hope so.
Along the way, we'll be stopping at some sites like a U.S. government rocket. Also, probably on the way home, an alien abduction site. You still think they do the probing?
Oh, for sure. Especially with all the files released recently. Absolutely.
All right. So let's go out and get some bikes.
All right.
If everything goes to plan, the reveal video should be next in this video, followed by us getting the bikes and fixing them up. Is there anything left?
No, I mean I'm nervous. I've never ridden that far on a motorcycle. I mean, accumulatively I've ridden that far, but I've never ridden that far on one stretch. So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. Also, I don't, go out too often and visit random places. So to see all the sites and all the places that we're going to stop, as well as Mount Washington itself, I'm excited to see it. I'm not a huge fan of heights.
They do have a warning sign at the bottom.
I'm not a huge fan of heights, but usually I can muscle past. I can muscle past some things like that in order to see a nice view and do something extraordinary. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
We don't know the date yet. We'll decide that in the future, but and when we do, we'll let you know. But sit back, enjoy the rest of the video, and thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
All right, I just pulled into work. Today's the day me and Derek are going to see each other's bikes. Here is mine. 2000 Kawasaki Concourse. 1000 cc, 4-cylinder, 6-speed, shaft drive. This bike was made for sport touring, and I think that this is the perfect bike to take. Zippy, like Zippy the Pinhead, or Zippy the Chimp. Yeah, so Derek probably won't be here for another couple hours. He starts a little later, but yeah, as soon as he shows up, we'll see what the hell he bought. Okay, I just got a text from Derek. He's right down the street and should be here any minute.
Alright guys, here at my job, ready to do the first reveal. Let me snap you around my neck. How's that view? That view is good. Alright. Alright, let's go see what John has.
I think I hear it. It's definitely a bike coming. If that's it, that does not sound like a 1 or 2 cylinder. That what is that? It can't be. No fricking way.
See him over there.
Oh my god. What the?
No way. Great minds think alike. Apparently.
USB charger in here. 38,000 miles.
Yeah. What's yours got? 41?
Yeah.
What year's yours?
2000.
Mine's an 02.
What?
How much did you pay for yours?
Wait, yours is newer and yours has less miles? I paid 800.
Oof. What did you pay?
550.
What? Well, obviously it didn't run. Well, mine didn't either, though.
No, definitely didn't run. The carburetors were completely off of it.
You had to do carbs too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, mine suck. Mine absolutely sucked. I had to do them twice. So yours has less miles. It's a newer bike and costs less, and you got better tires.
And mine's got a sweet tour pack.
And yours got a sweet tour pack.
But I will admit though, I like your color better.
Yeah. I mean, this is more classy, probably.
But the sporty red, man, that's nice.
All right. Well, I mean, when it comes to sport touring bikes, I didn't ever expect you to get this. I was expecting to hear a 1-cylinder or 2-cylinder come popping up the hill. When I heard this, I was like, what the? There's no way. But
I didn't expect to get a 4-cylinder either, but I actually kind of like the look of the bike. And I figured, you know, with the tour packs that were so easily removable and everything, kind of like a suitcase or whatever, I thought it might be a good idea. And it wasn't as old as a lot of the bikes that I've messed with.
no.
The 02 is actually new for me, so.
When I was looking for a bike, I mean, you got yours. I remember I was in the hospital, I think, when you sent me a text that you got yours. So you got yours like a month before I even found mine.
I got mine in the fall, right? Thanksgiving time?
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. And I got mine right around Christmas break. Yeah, as far as sport touring bikes, there's really not that much affordable other than the Kawasaki. I mean, everything else, the Hondas were too expensive than the ones I saw.
There were a couple other options, but none were as like well looked after, well sought after as these. These were like a dime a dozen, and you know, parts weren't crazy expensive, and everything was relatively easy to work on.
What's with your exhaust?
Yeah, it's got aftermarket pipes.
I don't have that.
Del Kevnik pipes. Sounds sweet.
Okay, but I do have heated grips, which
I do not.
admittedly he wired wrong, so they don't really, they work, but they're wired into the ignition module. When you turn it on, it messes with the ignition, so yeah, I don't use them.
I'm not going to need heated grips going in the middle of June and July.
And I do have risers here.
You do?
Yeah. These blocks here.
Look at those blocks.
And I guess underneath these caps are the adjusters for the front, but I'm not going to mess with them.
I feel like that might make the ride a little bit more comfy.
Yeah.
Having those little riser blocks on there. What are those, like 1.5 inches?
Something like that. But it makes the throttle cables harder because I had to replace the throttle cables. It makes them harder to reach the carbs. Oh, you got a different windshield.
Yeah, but somebody cut it. So I get straight wind to the face.
I have another one of those. Because the one I got, it was so hard to see through, and that one a guy sold to me for $25. And I was trying to clean it, trying to make it clear, but I wasn't having much luck. I probably need a rotary something on a drill or something.
Maybe I'll give that a go. I mean, I like it. It's not bad. When I took it out for the first test ride and it was cold, that sucked. But now that it's getting nice and warm out, I don't really mind the wind in the face. It's kind of refreshing.
So yeah, this was a part of the agreement that we had to put a USB charger on so we could keep the cameras rolling and all that. I'm surprised you put it in your door, but
I kind of like the placement of yours better, but
I don't really use the voltmeter though.
mine would be easily changeable. Yeah, I don't use the voltmeter too much either.
I actually have another one of these doors, I think. It had a couple little holes in it because this whole part on mine was cracked, and he gave me another part, and it came with another door.
Mine's on a switch.
Mine,
That went to my underglow that this bike had when I got it.
oh, mine has a switch up here where you have another USB-C.
Yeah, I've got 2 C's and 2 regular USBs.
I got 2 regulars and only 1 C.
and then
But I mean, how many things can you run off of it at once?
and then mine's on a switch. But
And what's this?
that's a manual shut-off valve. So there's a whole story behind it. You'll see in my videos that I bought a valve rebuild kit, a fuel valve rebuild kit for this because I didn't want the diaphragm to ever go bad and fill the cylinders with fuel, which apparently these bikes are known for filling the cylinders with fuel.
Yes, but my carbs came with the drain tubes in them. Already installed. Somebody put the overflow tubes in my...
No way, those are like an extra $100. How did you manage that?
I have no idea. I
You
took the
got
carbs
lucky with that.
I took the carbs apart, and sure as shit, they were in there.
Yeah, mine didn't have that, so I had to be sure that mine, if my fuel valve ever did go bad, it wouldn't fill the cylinders with fuel. So I just put a manual shut-off valve. I mean, gravity's going to take course, so all the lines are underneath the tank, so I should be okay. It's been running fine. Although I did notice, yesterday I ran my tank down pretty low when I was taking it for a ride, and it seemed like it wasn't running as well when it got to a very low tank. And I'm wondering if that's because of the dip in the fuel line.
Maybe, less pressure or something.
But I filled it up this morning before I came, and it was running beautiful. So
I filled mine up this morning right before I got here, too. I had set the trip meter as 0 last time. It said I only went 140 miles, and the thing was near empty. But it only took 3.7 gallons, which is like half a tank.
really,
Yeah, so it averaged out to about 37 miles a gallon, I think.
okay. I just did mine for the fact I didn't even think about resetting the trip on mine. But I did this morning. I filled up my tank fully and I reset the trip. I got 20 miles on it right now, and it doesn't even look like my needles moved at all. So, well, that's an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, well, yeah, at least when mine breaks down, I'll have spare parts off yours.
You know what's funny is I do have some spare parts that I was going to bring on the trip with me, and that's actually phenomenal that you have the same bike, because now if either of us needs a spare part, we've got each other's backs, I guess.
I find this seat is not the most comfortable.
No.
It pushes me forward. You like some of my other bikes, I have room to slide forward and back if I start to get uncomfortable.
I find myself like bracing a lot and trying to sit up straight. I feel like that's the most comfortable, but you can't help it that as you're, I don't know if you looked into it, but this bike is basically a Kawasaki Ninja. So like it's like it's got the sporty feel of a sport bike with touring fairings and everything on it. So like you want to lean forward like it's a sport bike, but I don't know, it's super odd. It's not the most uncomfortable bike I've ever ridden, but I don't know. I'm seeing that the more that I ride it, the more I like riding it.
Yeah. I mean, I've only ridden it. I mean, I think, well, I shouldn't say that. I did put, like I said, about 140 miles on it.
You put 140 miles on yours?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well,
I don't think I put that much.
my first couple of test rides didn't go successfully, as you'll see.
Oh, I can't wait to see those videos.
Yeah, so I'd constantly be taking it out, but yeah, there was some issues with it. When I thought the thing was just about done, I found some more issues with it. All right. Well, unbelievable.
Awesome first reveal. I'm totally shocked.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey. Now we know what each other has, and my bike, I think, is pretty much ready to go.
I think mine is too.
All right. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and well, we'll continue the video, but that's it for this clip. And yeah, any last words?
No, I'm excited to start riding it. Weather's getting nice, and I'll definitely be riding it more, so it'll make me feel a lot better about the long ride. And
yeah, I'll be bringing it back and forth to work, I'm sure, a few more times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, 140 miles, so I'm getting close to almost a quarter of the way there and back. So
wow.
All right, that's it for this one.
On November 29th, Derek went out to look for a motorcycle. 2 days after Thanksgiving, unaware that I had just been admitted into the hospital with pneumonia.
I'm on my way right now to go pick up a 2002 Kawasaki Concourse, possibly. It says the carburetors are off this, so I won't be able to hear it run, although he says it ran great before he took the carbs off. It just had a fuel leak. He's asking $700 for it. I'm gonna see if I can walk away with it for $500. We'll see what's going on. Should be a surprise to John because I always told him that I like the smaller bikes. You know, 250s, 350s. I used to have a 250cc Dacian Braz. I know how that sounds. It is a Chinese bike, but I picked it up brand new for $2,000, and I owned it for a few years, and it was a great bike. It was a 5-speed, and it wasn't the greatest on the highway, but it was great on fuel. Took me anywhere I needed to go. I did take it on the highway a few times, but had to stay in the slow lane. But this 02 Kawasaki Concourse, being a 4-cylinder, 6-speed, I think it's going to be much, much better on the highway. Alright guys, back at it. I picked up the bike. It seemed like a good deal. It's going to need a little bit of work. It's in some pieces, but I ended up picking up the bike for $550. So the guy was asking $700. I knocked him down $150 to $550. So I felt like I was getting a good deal, even though it needed some work. But I'm good for the work. So, but one thing that absolutely surprised me is that he threw in a whole other parts bike, pretty much for free with it. You know, under the same price. It's not a full-blown parts bike, but it's got an engine, it's got a frame, it's got some extras with it, some extra goodies. He told me that one of the front forks was leaking, and nice enough, the second bike comes with forks as well. So technically I could just rebuild those and then swap the forks out. But yeah, just figured I'd give you guys an update. That's where we're at right now. I'm on my way back to my house with it, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, everybody, here she is. She's home nice and safe. Had a 1-hour trip to get her back. But as you can see, tanks off, seats off, carburetors are out. Hopefully there's nothing in there. I'll have to check. Said everything on the dash works. Look at that, it even gave me a phone mount. It's kind of cool. It's got some pretty good storage. See, tires, not bad, not bad. Exhausts look pretty even. Tire on the front looks pretty good, pretty darn good. I don't think I'll have to replace those. Yeah, you can see right there. That fork seal's leaking. This one looks good though. That one looks fine. This fork seal though, it's gonna need to be replaced. Other than that, bike looks like it's in pretty good condition. All right. When I come back, the bike will be off the truck.
And so on January 9th, I went out on a cold winter's day to purchase my bike for the trip. Hey everybody. So I'm on my way to go look at a motorcycle for this challenge. Strangely, this is like the 5th motorcycle that I've inquired about. There was like a 2000 Triumph Trophy 1200 that only had like 5,000 miles, and the ad is still up, but the guy will not get back to me, so he's either sold it or something, ghosting me. Another bike was a forgot the year. I think it was like a 97 Kawasaki Concourse, and that bike, he didn't get back to me either. He wanted like 600 for that one. Then there was a 84 Suzuki GS 850, which had a windshield, bags, shaft drive. I really liked that bike. He had advertised it, and it had only been on Facebook Marketplace for 2 hours, so I figured for sure no one else, would have seen it by then or contacted him. But sure enough, when I contacted, it says somebody else is already looking at it. There was another bike, I forgot what that one was, that was sold. So here we are, traveling, I don't know, 60-something miles to go look at another bike. I got one of those little U-Haul trailers on the back, and when we get there, I'll let you know what it is. Okay, I was able to make a deal and bought this bike. Probably spent a little more than I wanted to, but it's my job to try to get it for less, and it's his job to try to sell it for more, right? So I'm on my way home now, but I'll pull over in a little bit to check the straps, and when I do, I'll show you the bike. I just checked all the straps. Everything's doing good. As you can see, the calipers, both front calipers are off the bike, and the tank's off the bike, and the seat's off the bike. I got the bags for it. I got the tank and seat. Tires, that could be a problem. Maybe. Is this adjustable? What are these things? There's a little crack down here. The plastic. Rear tire looks pretty good. Rear brake, I think, works. I think it's doing something. All right, we'll continue on and get this thing home. I should be home in another hour or so.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I think we're going to start off today by doing a compression test. I want to test all 4 cylinders. I've got everything laid out here that I got from the gentleman that I purchased the bike from. As you can see, I've got the bike off the truck, and I've got the bike into my garage. Excuse the mess. This is where I'll be working on it for the remainder of the time that it's not drivable. But as you can see, I've already started by pulling the coil packs off, as well as the spark plug wires. I've moved those off to the side so that I could have access directly to the tops of the cylinders or the spark plugs. I've got my my good old handy dandy compression tester here. So I think we'll start off by doing that. And I'll let you know the results when I'm done. Alright, so ran into our first issue here. I forgot to say this before the last video. When I brought the bike inside, the guy told me that the battery was in good condition, so I wanted to disconnect it and put it on a trickle charger. That way it would hold its charge. And then as I was going to take it off the as I was going to disconnect the negative cable to put it on the trickle charger, oh yeah, terminal just shredded. Now I'm gonna see if I can take some pliers and bend it all back to shape and at least have it as like a backup or a spare battery. But unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to order a new battery at this point. I've got the first cylinder hooked up and ready for test. Now obviously the carburetors are off, so I don't necessarily have to hold it to watt or wide open throttle because the cylinders are just open. I've got the rest of the plugs in except for the one, so let's turn it on and see if we can build some compression. Oops, fell a little bit. 190 psi. A little over 190 psi. Not bad. That's a wicked good sign. Alright. Let me go through the rest of them. You guys will probably have it fast forwarded, and we'll talk about it when I'm done. Alright guys. After doing the compression tests, I'm happy to say that I think this engine will run. I don't think the guy sold me a dud. I've got 192 on cylinder 1, 190 on cylinder 2, 205 on cylinder 3, and 210 on cylinder 4. So, you know, give or take 10-15% in between each cylinder. I think anything over 150 is going to be a nice solid number to be able to run as a healthy engine. And who knows how long it's been since it ran last. I'm sure, you know, if it was nice and hot, the rings would seal a lot better and probably yield higher numbers. But as for right now, that's a pretty good sign. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the battery, and I've got some parts on the way. When they get here, I'll show you them, we'll talk about them, and we'll talk about the price and where we're at, and get to work. All right, chat with you later.
Well, we made it. We're here in one piece. Looking over the bike now. A little better than I could when I was out on the road. But yeah, so let me explain to you how I got this bike. Apparently, an older gentleman owned this bike. 41,000 miles on it. One day he went out to take it out and it wouldn't start. Wouldn't turn over, nothing. So he had another bike and he rode that, and this one just sat. Well, it sat so long that he decided he was going to sell it. He put it up for sale, I guess, and this young gentleman, the guy I bought it from, he had a couple of bikes, and he said, all right, well, I'll buy it, and I'll fix it up.
I can fix it.
And that didn't happen. He's now enlisted in the Navy, and he's moving to Virginia, where he's going to go through his training. And he had to sell 2 out of the 3 of his bikes. And this was one of them. So he never got it running. The problem is it wouldn't turn over, so he replaced the starter solenoid, and that didn't work. That's what he thought it was. Pulling the clutch. We'll hit the start button. Nothing. All right. So that leaves us with the usual culprits. A start button, not making it ground. Kill switch. Clutch lever switch. But they all go through a relay, and that relay is part of this junction box that's underneath this cover. It's part of the fuse box. So I checked the wires here. I have no output from here to here. I do have to check the inputs from here, and here to make sure they work, but these things did have issues. Sometimes if you banged on them, they would come back to life, but sometimes not. So we got that to look at. If I jump across here, it does crank over. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to remove the coils. I'm going to remove the plug wires, the plugs, and we're going to do a compression test on it. Alright, so I removed the coils, the spark plug wires, removed the plugs. They came out okay. No issues there. It was one thing I was worried about. Measured the top of the piston to here on 1 and 4, and they measured the same. Basically, you stick a screwdriver down there and with a rubber hose and a washer, and see if it lines up at the top. Then you do it with the other side. Make sure they're the same. I'm sure there's other ways you can do it. I measured 2 and 3, and they were the same. So that means we do not have a bent connecting rod, and I'm very happy about that. Cylinder 2. Well, the bike came with new iridium plugs, so I'm going to put them in. So it goes back under the cover. At least I know now it runs, and I'm not out of the woods. I think there's maybe an issue with that junction box, the fuse box, but we'll go from here. All right.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a little while since I've spoken last. We've got all of the parts in that I ordered. If you can see here, I've ordered an oil change with an oil filter, 4-carb rebuild kit, front and rear brakes, slave cylinder rebuild kit because I noticed the one on the bike was leaking, fuel petcock diaphragm rebuild because I saw on the forums that they're known to stick open and hydrolock the engine with fuel, spark plugs, and rear drivetrain gear oil. I hung up a little whiteboard here in my garage. You could see where I'm at price wise. So the budget's $1,000, as we've spoken about. With the price of the bike and all the parts that I've bought so far, my overall total is $757.94, which isn't a bad place to be, with $240 left to spend, $242.06. The parts total so far has only been $207.94, so that leaves a little wiggle room, hopefully for a battery or some other miscellaneous parts down the road. I've already got my eye on a couple of things that might make the ride a little bit better, more comfortable, nicer overall. So that's where we stand price-wise. Now, as you can see, these are all kind of odd numbers for everything except for the motorcycle itself, and that's just what the price was on eBay. Alright, so downstairs in my basement where it's a little bit warmer, I'm gonna be rebuilding the carbs here. As you can see, got them all laid out, got the carb rebuild kits all laid out, got some gloves, got some different cleaners, lubrication, stuff like that. I've already cleaned up carb number 4 and rebuilt it. Looks great, can't complain. Now I just have to do it 3 other times. These carbs are dirty, and I don't know what the last owner did, but he put some sort of goop on it. I don't know if it's like a rhino liner or some sort of plasti dip. Not really too sure. It's it comes off with a little bit of brake clean and a flathead or whatever, but it's literally all over the place. So I have to spend time extra cleaning that. Alright, I'm 3 carburetors down. As you can see, I've rebuilt these 3, which is 2, 3, and 4. Last one I have to build here is number 1. Alright guys, this is the final product. It's all been put back together. I skipped all the cleaning of these and didn't want to bore everyone, make John have to do any extra editing, but I had to go out and get some hardware. It cost me like 10 or 15 bucks for hardware just to put this stuff together, and I looked at the diagram on how to put it back together. Now unfortunately there's a spring here and there's supposed to be another spring here in between these 2 carbs, and there was not one with what the gentleman gave me. But I don't think it really makes that much of a deal. The carbs still open pretty good. I adjusted them as good as I could to be in sync until I can sync them all together perfectly with the tool. But for now, I think this will do. Got the choke and everything, and carbs are ready to go back on the bike. So I think I'm gonna take it up, fill it up with some fuel, see if we have any fuel leaks. If not, throw it on the motorcycle and see if we can get her started. Alright, back in the garage. I finished building the carbs, as you saw. I was going to videotape myself installing the carbs into the bike, but I gotta be honest with you, so much swearing happened trying to get those in that I would just rather not videotape it. But I did get the carburetors in. I got all the lines hooked up. Here, let me see if I can. Got all the carburetors in. Got all the lines hooked up. Even the choke and the throttle cables and everything. And I got the tank attached. I don't have it finalized or set or anything like that, but I did want to give the bike a start to see if it'll start up. So let's give her a shot. All right, let's see if she starts. It's a good sign. So now we can move on to doing the rest of the stuff.
Beautiful day, but to get things done shoveling today, I decided to come out here and look at this bike. I believe I have its cranking problem solved. Let's give it a shot. Yep. That takes care of that. So what it was is this wire here had a bad ground. But yeah, moving on from here. I just took the air cleaner cover off, and yeah, there's been a mouse in here. So hopefully the air cleaner is good, but it just needs to be cleaned out. I am back down in my basement. You could probably hear my furnace running because we are in the middle of a winter storm right now. I took the carburetors off. I didn't show any of that because it was in freezing weather and I just had to get them off. And get them off as quick as I could before I froze. They are a pain to get off. I'm just letting you know right now. It's weird because it came with 4 carburetor kits like this, and then it also came with 4 carburetor kits that have the floats on them as well. So I have my little muffin tray marked 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when I take the parts off this carburetor, they'll go in 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That way I won't mix anything up. Got a little bit of gas left in it. But yes, it has the overflow tube. And it looks about the right height. So it would be right about there. That would be above, yeah. So that looks good. Thank God. There's dirt in there, but thank God for the overflow tubes. I don't have to worry about doing that. Alright, that's one out. So I removed the O-rings from this tube that goes in between the carbs, and none of these kits came with those O-rings. They came with O-rings that are way smaller. So I had a kit here, but that doesn't have them in there. I just went out to the shed and got this kit, so I'm hoping I have something compatible in this kit that'll work. Doesn't count against my total if I already have it, right? Let's see what we have. That one looks a little small.
That's what she said. Michael.
Next one up is this one. That one looks pretty close. I don't think it's one of these. They're much thicker. That's way too thick. Alright, carburetor number 4. That's the one I started with. I believe this was in backwards. The pin is supposed to be in, and it was, the spring was on the wrong side, that's for sure. Anyway, I reusing the old jets. Everything in that kit, both those kits, even this air cutoff valve doesn't fit. I don't trust the jets, so I'm using all the old jets cleaned. I measured the float height with the old float. We're good there. I got the adjustment screw in, and I put it 2 turns. Okay, carburetor's all back together. I know I didn't film a lot of it going back together. It's a royal pain in the butt. Think that's a pain in the butt? Or do I try to install these things? Just a word of advice. Buddy of yours comes over. He's bought a Kawasaki Concours and asks you to help him with the carbs. Just say no. Tell him you're going away for a month or something. Carbs are done on. Everything's attached. The throttle cable is a little stiff. Got to oil that or do something about that. I am trying to soak up all the clutch fluid. Wasn't a good color, but we'll do that. I'm going to bleed the clutch. I think it was working, but we're going to do that anyway. While I'm out here today and it's a nice day, I will probably change that reflector. He had given me one, a used one that he had gotten with the bike. And yeah, we're getting there. I don't know how much more I have. Hopefully not much. And I'll be able to take this thing for a ride soon enough. And if everything goes good, then maybe I can afford the front tire for it. So the issue, again, carbs. This has been the bane of my existence on this bike. Throttle cables. It's getting stuck. Won't turn. I have it disconnected anyway right now, so it won't, but this one is very bent. Probably the issue. Maybe the issue. The carbs themselves snap back now without the cables on them. I've tried adjusting them, setting, a lot of play in them, but they just didn't come back. So I believe I'm going to have to replace the cables. Now, it's okay. I got a set of cables here for $37. So I got these cables hanging here from the garbage can, and I've got some sewing machine oil, and I've just been putting a little in each one just to lube them up a little ahead of time before I put them in the bike. I'm using a long pair of these hemostats to disconnect the cables down at the carbs. So that worked out well. And hopefully I can use them to connect them again. Managed to get the return cable in.
Now I have to get the throttle cable in. I have this screwdriver holding the throttle wide open, a pry bar, and that brings the little slot, the hole in the slot for that little barrel to go in. So now it's just finagling it in there. This isn't something I can really record because you can't see anything once your hands are all in there. But hopefully next time I turn the camera on, I'll have it connected. I'm not gonna lie, that was the worst thing ever. Maybe I should have taken the carburetors back out again. It took me total over 2 hours to do this. That's nuts to replace 2 cables. But I have a throttle that springs back now instead of my cruise control where it would just stay where you put it. Oh, all right. I have to put the coil back in because you have to remove that one, or at least move it out of the way, and the cables go in between the where the coil is, front and back bracket, and that should do it for the cables. Thank God. Well, that was a chore. It's supposed to be nice a couple of days this week, so maybe after I get out of work. The clocks have changed now, it'll stay light later, and maybe I can put some gas in this thing, start it up again. I have not started it since I rebuilt the carbs, and see if it's charging, see if it idles okay, because it didn't idle before with those jets plugged up. But my back is killing me, so I'm calling it a day from now, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, I just filled up my line here. I had this number 1 carb here leaking fuel. I gave it a few taps with the screwdriver and we look good. Yeah, I think we are ready. Choke on, and we'll give it a go. We are in neutral. Headlight is working. I've been loading. Let's see if she's charging. Because this is a main one here. 14.6. All right, that's good.
I think today I'm gonna rebuild the petcock on the gas tank. Although last time we got it running, and it seems as though the petcock is running fine, because this petcock has a vacuum system that allows the fuel to flow. The reason that these engines hydrolock apparently is because those petcocks are known to get stuck open. So I bought a rebuild kit just to get rid of anything that could happen with that. And also on top of that, I think I'm going to buy an inline shut-off valve, manual valve that I have to shut off myself, just to try and double down to make sure that no hydrolocking occurs on here. But yeah, I think today we're gonna rebuild the good old petcock. So all right, here she is. No sediment. That must mean the tank is clean, although I've looked in the tank and there's no rust or anything like that, but usually there's a little bit of sediment in any given tank. But she came off nice and easy, and so we're gonna open up this kit. Nicely packaged, each individual part. Looks great. All right. Okay, so here it is all done. Most of the parts fit. I don't know what's going on. It's like the kits that I'm buying, some of the parts fit, some of the parts don't. I don't know, it's weird. And now I'm starting to get like a slight drip every now and then. I'm gonna have to check that. But the reason I threw it back on without showing you guys first is because I don't know if you could see that big dark spot. It started leaking fuel from the cap. So I'm gonna have to check the O-ring on the cap next just to see if that's something. I mean, I might not. I'm not really too worried about it. It's not like the bike's gonna be upside down, so but I'm worried that if it's filled to the top and it sloshes around, if fuel's going to start coming out the top. So I'm going to have to look into that a little bit, but not too big of a deal. What's going on, guys? It's been another week or so. Last video we swapped some of the parts in the fuel tank's petcock. Unfortunately, as you can see, I have the tank sitting over a bucket because those parts didn't feel so great. Now, you know, and I'm seeing a little bit of fuel leaking out. Not too sure why the parts looked exactly the same, but I think I might have to order another kit. Luckily, I still have some money left over in the budget, and I've looked online and I found a different supplier that could that it is more recommended, has a higher rating. So I think I'm gonna purchase that at some point. But today I think I'm going to tackle brakes for the first time.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream I was water just flowing through space, till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What the grass smell green and the air feels sane. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that would run from me. Now I sit still, let the peace come free. Paint a verse in the sky with a loose leaf. While the moon do a dance with a soft oak tree. Let it ride, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on three. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. I've been good, I've been gone, I've been lost in the loops. Got a hoodie and some headphones, walking with truths. Ain't no answers in the feed, just noise and flex. But I found God once in a vinyl set. Talk slow when I speak, let the moment stretch. Learn peace ain't found, it's a thing you protect. Yeah, I vibe like water, I change and shift. But the roots still deep like my grandma's grits. City move fast, but I drift like smoke. Let the rhythm in my chest be the way I cope. Wrote a song for the days that feel soft and broke. Where the healing don't shout, but it still got hope. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on three. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key.
It's a cold one out here today. I think today I'm gonna attempt the front brakes just to get them out of the way. Took off the reservoir cap. That fluid looks disgusting, as per usual. So I drained some of it out because I'm gonna have to press the calipers in. But when we're done, we're gonna try to get the rest of it out, and then put some fresh stuff in it and do a nice bleed. Alright guys, front brakes are done. I took and emptied out the reservoir with a syringe, filled it up with some clean fluid. I don't know if you can tell, but that's clean fluid in there. Looks clean. Looked all orange before. And I bled out all the crap in the lines and refilled it back up with nice clean stuff. Pumped it up. We have a nice solid brake. So, front brake's done. I think next episode will be, or next time you see me, it'll be the Slave.
When I got this, it came with new pads, caliper rebuild kits. But after I took these off, I was able to push these in. I'll have to clean up these slides and stuff, but I don't believe, if what he says is true, that the front brakes were stuck on, that it was the calipers, especially both at once. So yeah, I was able to push the pads back in after I removed them. So the issue may be either one of the brake lines, like the one brake line that comes off the master is collapsed, or maybe the master itself. But as far as these go, I'm going to clean these up, clean all this stuff up. These pads really aren't that bad, but maybe I'll put the new pads on it, and while I have them off, clean up all the slides and put these back together. So I got one caliper together, use the new rubber pieces, new pads. If you don't have this stuff, this is good for putting on the slides and also on the slides down here too, the metal ones. It's better than grease because sometimes, depending on the rubber, grease can swell up the rubber, and you don't want that to happen. It'll cause it to stick. So I'm going to take care of the second one. Brake calipers are back on the bike. I'm going to put some brake fluid in the reservoir and see if we can bleed these, and see if we can see what's sticking, if anything. So I have bled these brakes, and I believe I have some kind of a brake lever. I tried to roll it and hit the brakes and they worked, and then they unstuck. So we're going to have to see how this is. Okay, I really wasn't getting a good brake lever before, but now I am. So a lot of times with these bikes, and the same thing happened with my XS2 and my CB350,
you just let them sit like overnight or so, and all those little tiny bubbles that you made when you created like foam when you were bleeding and all that, they work their way up and they work their way out. So this is my volt gauge, and it's got 2 USBs and a USB-C. So I think I'm going to mount this, if I can, like right here. Just got to drill a hole for it, and I think I have enough room behind here. Signal light's back there, but I think that's off more to this side. Just a little bit bigger, maybe one more size up. And that's where it'll sit. Oh my God, what a day. Best day of the year so far, weather-wise. And what a difference from yesterday when there was still snow on the ground. Now most of it's gone. Today, I removed this, the lock, from the broken one here. I'm going to put it on the one that the guy gave me when I got the bike. And he gave me the screws that must have came with it too, which is good because I was missing some for other parts of the fairing. So this just goes on, you know, slips through the hole and then the nut goes on, tighten it up, no big deal there. So I'm going to put that on. I'm also going to put some bullet connectors on here, wire them into here. These are on all the time. I wanted it on a switched position, but you know what? This has a switch. I can just turn it on and off here. I can turn off the LED, and the USBs, I believe, will stay live, which is good. So, yeah, let me get that done, make sure that works. Alright, so I've crimped the ends on here. What I had to do to these is I had to strip the wire back and then fold it over on itself, because the first one that I crimped on there I was able to pull right off. So if you double it over on there, now then it'll hold. Now you probably really should be soldering these on as well. This is not a crucial thing like it is when I'm doing a harness. So for this I'm just crimping them on, and I'm going to stick them in these outlets, keeping the fuse on here, and then we'll see if it works. With my wiring hooked up, just hit the little button there. It's scrolling for you, but it's 13.2, and you can kind of read it through that little glass there, little sight. So that works. Okay, now on these side pieces, remember I had taken the lock off? Well, instead I switched doors, because this door has these 2 little holes in it, and 4 holes in the back with a screw on it, and I don't know what those are for. So it was just a matter of pulling that clip and pulling the pin out, popping the new door on there, and I put the lock back in, of course. So now this can go back on the bike, and we'll get that done. So I put the tank on. I got a hose running off Petcock. I have it on prime. I'm just whatever was in that tank I'm getting out, because he said this thing was sitting a long time. So we'll let this drain. I got some new stuff we'll put in. Maybe I'll put a little in, flush it out a little more. So that is yellow, yellow, yellow. I do have the fuel hooked up. I have the tank bolted in and the vent lines on. I have the seat. just goes on and latches. I don't have the side covers on, but I'm ready to put some gas in it, start it back up again. I have a lot of cleaning to do on this. Still got to put the windshield on, but it may be able to go for a ride soon. Wouldn't that be exciting?
Hello everybody, and welcome back. It's been a little while. I've been wicked busy. I work 3 jobs, so it's very difficult for me to find time to work on the bike. But now that we're back, I can give everybody an update. So in one of my previous videos, the petcock diaphragm rebuild kit wasn't the right kit, so I took it out, put all the old parts back in, sent it back to the person that I purchased it from. They refunded me. So here we have the original amount of parts total plus the $38.80, which was for the petcock diaphragm rebuild kit. But since then, I have ordered a battery for $49.99, fuel line. I have ordered fuel tank bumpers because for some reason the bike did not come with them. They go right here for the tank to sit on. Vibration dampers, basically. He gave me all the other mounts for the tank and everything else, but he didn't give me those bumpers, so I had to order those, and those were 18 bucks. So manual petcock, like we said we were going to do, since the diaphragm rebuild kit didn't work, and I just want to be safe, don't want to deal with it. So I think I'm going to put that on instead. I've ordered a voltage gauge as well. You can see here I've already installed it. It has a USB and USB-C, and then it displays the voltage in the center of it. I don't know why I decided to put it in here, but I don't know. I just figured, I don't know, maybe it'd be easier to find a replacement for this if I ever didn't want it there or whatever. But I wired it up to the switch that was for the underglow, since we're not doing underglow anymore, or at least for now. But I will have to wire that up. In today's episode or video, I think I want to rebuild the clutch slave. I think that might be the next place I go. We're getting to the end of our list here, which is a good thing. I still need to start the bike up again and check the charging system, make sure the charging system is working, which after doing all the math for all of this, taken out, what I have left is 141.60, hopefully, and I'd like to leave that there, just in case I have an issue with the charging system. If I can find something for 140 bucks to replace it or to fix whatever's broken, that would be ideal. Alright, so I've started off by clamping off this line, going to the master. Oof. Let's see. There we go. Cut that puppy loose.
everything. Cheap gloves breaking on me. Very nice, rub down, nice and clean. Yeah, that's nice. Rebuild kit. Ooh. New spring, crush washers, a little bit of assembly lube, and gasket. Oh, it even comes with a new bleeder cap. That's how you know it's got some quality parts. Comes with a new bleeder cap. Alright. Let's see here. There's a bunch of goopy crap in there. I'll give it the old brake clean special.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream I was water just flowing through space, till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What the grass smell green and the air feels sane. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that were run from me. Now I sit still, let the peace come free. Paint a verse in the sky with a loose leaf. While the moon do a dance with a soft oak tree. Let it ride, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on 3. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. I've been good, I've been gone, I've been lost in the loops. Got a hoodie and some headphones, walking with truths. Ain't no inches in the feed, just noise and flex. But I found God once in a vinyl set. Talk slow when I speak, let the moment stretch. Learn peace ain't found, it's a thing you protect. Yeah, I vibe like water, I change and shift. But the roots still deep like my grandma's grits. City move fast, but I drift like smoke. Let the rhythm in my chest be the way I cope. Wrote a song for the days that feel soft and broke. Why the healing don't shout, but it still got hope. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on 3. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. Let it ride, let it be, let it be what it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on 3. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll like that. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean.
There ain't no fluid in there. Now granted, I did lose a little bit of fluid when I took the line off. I don't think I should have lost that much fluid, to be honest with you. So, take some of, oh yeah, no, I'm not drinking that. Take some of our Pentosin. She's already dripping. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. Yes, yes, yes. Give that a little tighten. Let's press our handle. give her the good old bleed. Put this here, see if we can grab most of it. But I don't know how much it's actually going to grab. Give her a couple pumps. Oh, pop, pop, pop. And there was some air. Just clip on here. Put that up in there. Take this guy in. Handy dandy drill. Supposed to bring home my tools from the shop that I work at part-time. And I forgot. So now I have minimal tool. Oh shoot, there's a screw in there too. Alright. It's pretty good. Hey guys.
What's up, everybody? I know, I'm in a different spot tonight, but you guys are gonna get a kick out of this. I installed the carburetors in the bike. The bike even started up and ran, which just baffled me. But I decided to start taking a second look at the diagram for the carburetors because I noticed that there were some lines that weren't there when I went and installed the carburetors. So after taking a second peek and really looking into it and doing some research, getting into some videos and whatnot, I found out that I'm missing a few pieces. Now those pieces, they go in between all four carburetors. And those four pieces feed the carburetor's fuel into the bowl. Now, I thought the carburetors were fed fuel through these top tees.
What is it with you anyway? Somebody drop you on your fucking head?
That the carburetors came with. And come to find out, after some research, those are supposed to be vents. So, it was able to get fuel into the carburetor and into the bowls, just not in the correct way. And I'm assuming the bike wouldn't run correctly if I had continued with this setup. So, with that being said, I had to go onto eBay and buy these, which is the T that goes in between carburetors 2 and 3, and then the straights that go in between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. $50. just for those aluminum pieces. So, next video I make will be back in my garage. I'm just in a different location tonight. But I'm going to be taking the carbs apart to put these in and testing the floats tonight. Alright everybody. Took me about a half hour to take it all apart, put it back together again, but as you can see, got our pipes in. Now, in theory, and I guarantee this is why the bowls were flooding out before, as I was talking about on one of the previous clips, the bowls kept flooding out. I don't think it's a feature. I think I had it hooked up wrong. So in theory now, I should be able to blow in this hose and air should flow by, which it is. And if I tip this over, the float should go up, the needle should seat, and I should get back pressure. Perfect. Well, stupid mistakes happen. At least I caught it before I got too deep. Next clip, I'll be installing this back into the bike. So I'll catch you on the next one. What's up everybody? I'm back out in the garage. Regular garage. I've got carburetors ready to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull those pieces of cloth that I have stuffed in the cylinders to plug them out, and I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the carburetors. Just taking a look at our chart here of prices. I had $141.60 left. The price of the pieces, or the tube pieces and the T that go in between the bowls to feed the fuel in, was $51 exactly. So taking that away, I would have, I think, $90 left and 60 cents. So still on budget, still have a little bit left over, but hopefully we won't need any more left over. So wish me luck on the install, because installing these carbs is a pain in the butt. Got the throttle cables on, although it's sticky, so I might have to order some throttle cables or take the cables out at some point and lube them up. But for now, it's fairly loose. It just doesn't snap back, and I would prefer it snap back. But got the carbs in, got the cables on, got all the hoses routed, got the tank on. Now I just got to hook up the fuel line. I got to mount this somewhere. Thinking somewhere, I don't know, somewhere. It's got to be out of the way so that my leg doesn't hit it. But it's also, I don't want it tucked away so that I forget about it either. So I'm thinking maybe here, somewhere in this realm. And then I might have to drill a hole in the side here for fuel line to come out. I don't want it to dip down too far and come up, even though gravity will feed it, but I don't want the fuel line to be too long. I don't want any choking problems or anything like that. But so we're here. Hopefully I get, maybe an hour or two tonight to work on it, and I'll record that. But then after that one, hopefully we can start it and possibly warm it up, take it for a ride.
Well, that test ride didn't go as planned. The clutch clutch slipped when I was giving it some beans. So either the clutch slave isn't returning all the way, it's sticking out, you know, because one of the lines is bad, the master's plugged, the slave is stuck, or it needs a clutch.
Phenomenal. Everything works. You know, I filled it up with gas, and brakes feel great. Bike runs great. Everything works on the dash and whatnot. But when I got it back, I noticed there was a huge oil puddle underneath it, and I was like, well, that's obviously not good.